You know those words, they hurt me. You'd found out what made me angry, then use it to your ability. Now you're trying to avoid me. You're the big problem here, a bully to many for so many years. Now shut your mouth, close your ears. Never learned your lesson and nobody cares. That's what you're here for, here to make me miserable. I know you get joy out of it. You hurt me but call me the same names again. You know I never liked them, and that's so unforgivable. I know you ruined my childhood. You hurt me and do it all over again. You ruined my childhood. You hurt me and do it all over again.
Hello everyone, this is Fantasy-esque and welcome back to the Sims 4 Royal Witch Kingdoms. Today we are picking up with the noble family of Citerly. High Lady, sorry, I keep forgetting these titles, but High Lady Calypso Citerly has just gotten married to a Vulcane that is now a Tira. So a commoner that has been elevated to noble status through his marriage to Calypso. And we'll take a look at him in a second. I did get him off the gallery from one of you lovelies, and it's so nice every time I jump back in to see like even more creations from you guys. And just to note, I almost always use Sims that are like single Sim households. So if you're going to put a bunch of Sims up on the gallery, like more than one, then most likely I will not be using that. I prefer to stick to Sims that are just like by themselves, whether it's male or female, so that I can mix and match like the couples, and I can try and get creations from as many different people as possible. So anyways, that's where my brain was at. Now let's really quickly go through what we saw in the movie. I feel like some of the weddings are a bit more rushed than others. I do allocate some more time to it. So in this one, obviously we saw the wedding colors of Calypso's family, and to be honest, I actually like this wedding outfit. I was saying how it felt so simple with the sisters, and I think it might have been just the colors used, because with Calypso and Marquise, I actually really liked the way their wedding outfits looked, because I think the colors just made them look a bit richer. So we had that with them, and then there was a little conversation with Helicent and Calypso, and it was so nice to see how close the two stagders are. I feel like they do have very different personalities, but they have been quite close from a very young age. And Helicent was just telling Calypso that you look, really lovely, and it's a shame Nalka and Kenzo aren't here, because they would have loved to see you today. Like, they would have been so happy for you. And then we had the wedding ceremony during the day, and now look how busy her home is. I feel like she knows way more people, or she's definitely invited a lot more Sims than what Diamond did. I feel like Diamond only invited, I think, 3 couples, like 3 households to his wedding celebration, whereas look, we've got like we've got like all the royals here except for Lion, which kind of sucks. She didn't invite King Lion. So Lion is in the outs. Literally every other royal is here. Like Princess Luna is here. We have High King Edmund. We've got High Queen Faina. We've got High Queen Nimue, and then King Elrond. So all the royals are here, and a bunch of nobles. Even Diamond is. I wonder if he's going to get a bit jealous because, he didn't have this big of a celebration. And I wonder how... Look, Arturo's looks quite sad. Daphne, this is the first time Daphne is in, like, a party after she's been married, like, away from her own home. So that's kind of fascinating. She looks really, really happy in the black dress there. And also, guys, just a side note, Valena might be pregnant again. Like, she might be getting ready for a 4th baby, because I did have that pop up, and I said, yes, why not? Go for it. So that is crazy. They have, this time around, the biggest house. The whole Blots have the biggest family in the Witch series. In the previous season, it was the Ciccars, but as we know, literally all the Ciccars have been struggling, save for Luna, who managed to have 1 baby. But her son isn't even the heir, because the son's father died. Anyways, let's get into this episode. I'm so happy for Calypso. She looks quite delighted by the amount of people here. She just looks really, really happy to, be married. And also, the thing for Calypso, her family has grown up being kind of the outcasts in Ciccar, because she was a sickly child growing up. She wasn't born under the best of circumstances. And so a lot of the witches thought the sickness was part of the family trait. They thought her parents had sickly genes, and therefore they were unfit to mingle with everyone else, lest they spread the sickness or breed the sickness into other families. So I feel like they kind of struggled with marrying children from here off to other families. When Valena got engaged when she got betrothed to Dorian, the royal family of Hulkane, they were not happy with that. So there was a lot of things going on. It was kind of difficult to get things together. And then because nobody really wanted to marry even, like Helicent, nobody wanted to make a connection with this family, with Helicent. They had no choice but to betroth her to the Holdigans, to Eldrick. And the Holdigans, they are literally the lowest of the low when it comes to the noble families. The royal family of Hulkane, at least in the previous generation, has looked down on them quite a bit. And then, all of that was happening but thankfully the raw ones, and so like for the entirety of Calypso's young life, she didn't even have any betrothals. Her parents died before they could match anyone to her because nobody wanted to marry a sickly girl. Nobody wanted that. Or nobody wanted to send their children off to, become the husband of this sickly heiress. Because she has a very volatile life. Like, things could go wrong very quickly for her. So let me just hit this on play, and then we can stick around with her while everyone is spending time with one another. And so when she became the High Lady, thankfully, the Rawans, thankfully Valar didn't have a problem with arranging his brother's marriage to Calypso. So Kylo was supposed to end up marrying her, but as we know, he was poisoned by Blbecc, so that never ended up being a thing, unfortunately. So she had to pick a commoner to marry into her rank, and the commoner chosen is Lord Marquise Citerly. So this sim here, he's got pale skin. He's got Lyra's skin color, Princess Lyra's skin color, and then he's got green hair and pink eyes. Now he was submitted to me by Sweetheart 2016. His original name is Marquise Davila, but obviously after marriage he's now a Citerly. I did go ahead and change one thing about him. I changed his skin tone. So he had like a natural skin color, and I just gave him a supernatural / fantasy skin color. I gave him this really pale, light skin that Lyra has. So this is him. He's actually really, really cute. I like him a lot. He's got long green hair that even this wedding outfit, like, it looks so much better on him than it did on Diamond. It actually looks better on him, and I feel Calypso, than it did on Daphne and in Diamond. Also, you'll notice Calypso is like really, really thin compared to the other ladies that we have been playing. And generally the Sims, even like Hellicent, is relatively slim. And a lot of I feel like she gets her physique from her mother. Kind of like a very delicate, almost weak physique. But with her sister Hellicent, she's got a stronger physique, but she's still kind of slimmer than the other ladies. And that's because this family, they have a pool down here. So they just grow up being super fit because they're always swimming. So even though they bake and stuff, they keep their weight down. Unlike the sisters who gain weight over time because they don't really have a pool or anything that they use. And even I want to say the Holdigans, they do have a pool. I don't know how frequently they use it, but this family uses it a lot more. Anyway, so those are the Sims that we have. Now, with Calypso, she's a dog lover, she's cheerful, she's self-assured. So she's always looking at the positives. And she and Diamond are not getting along well. I don't know who was insulting who, but Diamond, I think, was insulting her. That's mean Diamond, and he was talking about family. He's probably really cocky because he has his heir right now. Okay, and then Marquise, he is romantic, family-oriented, and he loves the outdoors. So, unlike Arthur, who's kind of ambitious and calculative almost, Marquise is just a really sweet guy. And I think he's like the perfect choice for Calypso because Calypso definitely needs a lot more love and attention, and I feel like he's the type of person to give that to her. So that's really nice, I feel. And Calypso, she is like self-assured and cheerful. She was sickly ever since she was young, but her father was really tough on her. Her Kotian treated her like a normal kid because he thought if he treated her with with any sort of delicate hand, that she would turn out to be a weakling. So she's very confident in herself because she was raised to feel as though there was nothing wrong with her. Right? Her mother was kind of always frantic, but she wasn't raised that way by her Kotian. And so she's always been looking at the positive things in life, the positive part of life. even though they grew up with their Kotian kind of being really, I feel like harsh, you know, super disciplined and whatnot, but still, I think it benefited her in the long run. Now, funny thing with Helicent, so she's engaged to Eldrick Holdigan, and if you look at her traits, she's like lazy, she hates children, she's a glutton, she's just the typical younger Stagda who's born into nobility and does not really want to do any work. So I think she was really resistant to the idea of being married off to the Holdigans because, or, you know, being betrothed to a Holdigan heir, because we know the women at the Holdigan place, or the spouses, they have to work really, really hard. And that is, like, not her at all. They have a lot of responsibilities and big families, and they work really hard because they have more of a farm estate. But no, she does not like that sort of thing. And yet, when I jumped in to do the movie and the wedding, she had the want to get married to Eldrick. So that kind of, how are you on fire? Okay, so she's on fire right now. We have a lot of guests. I would like someone to put her out, and I kind of decided this at the end, I think, of the previous season, when Eldrick's mother, I think, was on fire, or his father, one of them, they were on fire. I think his mother was on fire, and I decided in the end, you know what, because sometimes Sims do extinguish flames and sometimes they don't. I want to see who's going to be willing to save someone else's life, because autonomy is on. If they want to save her, they will. If they don't, they won't, and that'll be like a tragic loss. So I'm going to let that be a thing. Like, I'm not going to step in right now to see if she gets saved. I'm going to wait to see if anyone else in this party decides to save her. Oh my goodness, Faina's on fire too! I mean, imagine how dramatic that would be. We'll have accidental deaths. Like, how dramatic would that be to have accidental deaths at, like, an event like this? Oh my goodness, Faina has not had any children. Helicent has not even married. Faina, you can't die! You haven't had any kids yet. Okay, well, okay, look at this, Marquise, he is putting his Najime out. He's helping extinguish her. Is anyone gonna help the High Queen? Is anyone gonna help the High Queen? Okay, he extinguished them. Oh my goodness, Marquise. Get back into your wedding outfit, because I actually like it on you. But, oh my goodness, guys, everyone was freaking out except Marquise. Marquise, you are perfect. He is perfect. He was like, I have this under control. I will prove myself by saving my Najime and by saving the High Queen from dying. Oh my goodness, that was amazing. That was amazing. I'm so proud of you. I am so proud of you. Helicent's gonna go and take a bath now. Yes, you go take that bubble bath. You deserve it. Oh my goodness, that was wild. That was wild. And okay, everyone's like freaking out here, and Luna is like crying because they're scared they're gonna lose her Stagda. Don't worry, Faina's fine. Where else is there a fire? Faina is fine. Diamond does not even care. He's like dancing in here. I don't think there's any other fires. We don't have any other fires. We're all good. Is Faina gonna go take a bath or a shower? She might. Yeah, she just might. That was a crazy party. Oh my goodness. Talk about wedding celebrations. We almost lost High Queen Faina. Faina, is that going to scare you into trying harder to have an heir? Because what are you going to do? You can't leave the kingdom unattended. I mean, thankfully she has Padme. Really. I mean, if Nimue and the only one who... Well, I suppose even Edmund. But still, Edmund, you need to have heirs. At least with Nimue and Faina, if like they die, their sisters can inherit the throne. But yeah, that was scary. What are you doing? Stop freaking out. Just get changed. Oh my goodness. See what's happening? Really? Okay, everyone's leaving now. That was like a bit too exciting, I think. I wonder how Atro's upset. I have no clue. But hey, everyone got to celebrate. And Lord Marquise is just dancing it off over here. That's fine. Alicent, I'm glad you're enjoying yourself. Do you want to help clean up all these things? Thank you. Thank you. Help clean that up. Gonna pop this here. Let's clean this up. Empty that. Just tidy everything downstairs. Yeah. That's things are a bit wild. But with Calypso and where is he? Lord Marquise, you can kind of see him over here. He's got the long kind of green hair. So that's going to be interesting to see how their genes mix, because the green hair is like one of the unnatural hair colors. So I feel like with their kid, like if a kid inherited the green hair, then I feel like it would show itself in patches when they're younger, and then maybe when they're older, then they'll completely turn green. But they'll probably have the orange hair that Calypso has, and then like green patches. But if they have Calypso's hair entirely, they won't have any green in it from the get-go. So yeah, he is actually friends. So they are friends with one another, but they don't have any sort of other relationship just yet. I feel like it'll definitely develop with time, but for now, they have a good friendship with one another. And I feel like this is a really good change for Calypso, because her parents' marriage were very, very different. Very unequal and different. So I think this will be a nice shift. What's going on here? Well, someone's gonna have to repair this. You know what? You repair this. You repair this, and we'll get Alicent to help repair this. So there's really, two of them right now working to clean and fix things in the house, and I feel like Marquise wouldn't have any problems helping out where he needs to, because he is family oriented, and I imagine that means he likes being of assistance to his family members, and he likes looking out for everyone, which is so sweet. So sweet. Now for Calypso, as we've said, when she if she ever gets called out to a duel by the appropriate person at the appropriate time, she will go and engage in those duels, but because she is a sickly sim, she has a 2 in 6 chance of dying from an overload every time she engages in a duel. Now, as well as that, her percentage chance to die in childbirth is a lot higher than than a healthy female witch. She actually has a 15% chance of dying from childbirth. And that's a scary figure, because I have rolled numbers as low as 7. When we're doing whenever we have a female witch giving birth, I have rolled numbers as low as 7. But thankfully, most of the healthy witches that have rolled numbers that low, they have like a 5% chance or less of dying, so they always survive. But if Calypso rolled one of those low numbers, she could die. So that's a very scary reality for her. So having an heir is important, but every time she has an heir, there is that risk of her dying. And then I think I have discussed this in the past, but I am no longer going to be rolling to see if Sims are sick, like if babies are sick based on their mother's wants at the time of birth or anything like that. And I'm not going to be passing on sickness like an inheritance. Instead, the clear-cut way I've decided to do this is that if a female witch dies, like if the mother dies during childbirth, the child will always be sickly. If the mother survives, regardless of whether or not they are sickly, the child will always be healthy. So that's kind of what I've decided. But in a way, it still increases the likelihood of inheriting sickness, because, for example, if you're a sick sim, you have a higher chance of dying from childbirth. If you die from childbirth, then your child will also be sick, and your child would most likely have a higher chance of dying from childbirth, and that can continue. So in that way, it also makes sense why the witches wouldn't want to have sickly sims married into their families, because it means, there's a higher likelihood of death. And then, if you're a sickly sim as a female, you could die, 1, from childbirth, 2, from flippin' overloading during duels, which is not good. And even if you're a male, yes, you don't have to worry about dying from childbirth, but you are still going to have that 2 in 6 chance of dying from an overload during a duel. So, makes sense, doesn't it? How these kind of things happen. But okay, it is like really early and she does want to chat with High Lord Dorian. So I am very tempted. I don't know if he's going to come because it's like way too early right now. We might have to wait until a little bit later to do that. Okay, he's going to have some breadsticks. That's fine. She's napping in the hot tub. Okay, she's like passed out, napping in the hot tub. I guess the wedding was all very, very tiring and exciting, of course. Okay, let's go use the restroom. And then, eggs and toast. We'll have some breadsticks. Let's have some breadsticks. Because breadsticks, delicious. But yeah, she and Marquise, like the Citerly wedding colors, it's like black, gray, pink, and red. And I think that actually makes this outfit look a lot cooler than what the sisters had. Also, I didn't show you guys their wedding portrait. It's up in her chambers. So, here you go. This is a lovely wedding portrait. Look at that. Isn't that sweet? That looks lovely. And like I said before, see, this is the exact same pose that Faina had with Lion, because they weren't big enough to clip each other. So with Diamond, because Diamond has a bit more weight than Lion, and then Lion and Marquise, the female figure clips through the male, and then because Daphne is a bit bigger than Calypso, like Diamond's figure clips through her, or it did in this pose, which is why I had to change the pose for them. Just didn't look nice in the final portrait. Whereas for these two, because they're a lot more slim, the pose works for them. But it looks nice. I actually because I like the outfits, their wedding portrait, I feel like also just looks a lot nicer than the sister one. I feel like the sister one seems too basic. Like maybe the future generation is going to change their wedding colors. I feel like Diamond's heir. What's his heir's name? Oh, this is so bad. This is so bad. I should know his heir's name. Well, you guys aren't connected yet. Okay, so right now, actually, the Citerly family is the only disconnected family. They're the only disconnected one because we only have one marriage, and it's with Marquise, who isn't connected to anyone else. And then, actually, even if Helicent, so these families will always be disconnected. Even when Helicent gets married to Eldrick, because none of Eldrick's siblings have been married into another house, we'll only be able to track the Holdigans and the Citerlys, the families in this family tree, because they're not connected to anyone else by marriage. If Kenzo were alive, then he would have been connected to the Ramadust, and then we would have been connected to everyone. So that's kind of unfortunate, but like every other family, like every other witch family at this point, is connected except for the Citerlys and Holdigans. They're connected to each other and no one else. Which is kind of sad, isn't it? I feel like it's kind of sad, but that's just the way their cookies have crumbled. Okay, can we invite over Dorian? Let's try and invite over Dorian, see if he might be... Oh, well, actually, it's too early. We need to wait for 7 a.m., I feel. 6 a.m., he might reject us, and I don't want to be taking that chance. Don't want to be. So these guys, they have started developing some romance between them autonomously, which is quite nice to see, without me having to do too much effort. And given that Lord Marquise is a romantic sim, I feel like they're going to have a really good relationship down the line. Like, it's something that's gonna bloom from friendship, develop naturally, and be just really good for one another. I think they'll be a very supportive and loving couple, which I like. It's very nice, very nice. Okay, it's 7 now, so maybe we can invite over Dorian. But I will say this, during the, when we were prepping for the wedding celebration for everyone to come over, and Calypso was actually making some grilled cheese, I think, in the kitchen, Princess Luna went in there, and then Calypso was flirting with Luna. So that's kind of, I mean, they're really close friends, and that's really wild, but I feel like just all of the Ciccars are flirtatious. It is just a Ciccar thing, I feel. So let's brighten his day. Let's talk with High Lord Dorian. I suppose, I don't know if he attended the wedding party, but if he did, then maybe she just wanted to get to know him a little bit better. Because, you know, he is the other noble lord in the kingdom where her stag is going to be married off into. So I suppose she just wants to get to know things a bit better. And no doubt she has heard that Dorian's family, they make a lot of effort. And she's actually friends with Velena, so that actually makes sense. He's married to Velena, and they were close friends, and Velena was growing up in the kingdom of Ciccar. But also, I think she would be aware that Dorian's family have been making a lot of effort to be inclusive of the Holdigans, and I'm sure that's something she would appreciate, because, you know, they're helping to turn and change the fortunes of these families. Ooh, look at this! Look at this, guys! Marquise has a want to try for baby Lady Calypso. But actually, I'm not going to pin that. Can I unpin that? Okay, I'm not going to pin that, because that whim doesn't actually matter before the consummation. Like, if he could have that whim after the consummation, that'll be great. But this makes me kind of excited because he is family oriented. So fingers crossed, he's going to be rolling these kind of whims a lot more often than some of our other Sims. But also, Dorian and Velena, they're crazy. They've got such a big family. They've got 3 kids right now, and they recently tried again for a baby. Like, I had the pop-up. So, more likely than not, they are going to be welcoming a 4th kid into their midst. And so far, they only have sons as well. So far, they only have sons. But that is a lot of kids that we have. They're going to be like I feel like they're going to be like the Ramadusts. Like, the Ramadust family had triplets, and then they married all their daughters off to different kingdoms, and so they were able to build alliances and just be connected to others and strengthen themselves politically. I feel like that's what the Holbots are going to be like under Dorian. Like, all of the kids are probably going to be married off to different households. And, like, for example, the Holdigans, they were kind of forgotten. They had, like, apart from the heir, they had, like, 2 spare girls. They have 2 spare girls, but nobody really was interested in snapping them up as potential brides. So they're kind of living under their brother. And they're kind of living, you know, under his wing. And actually, if you think about it, that'll probably be really good for Helicent, because she's used to being lazy and she doesn't like you know, working for things, really. She's used to living in luxury. I mean, flipping hell, she's from Ciccar, right? So I think, and plus, when you get married in the, like, hierarchy, right? In the house's hierarchy, like a household's hierarchy, the High Lord or ladies at the top, then their spouse, and then any brother-in-laws or sister-in-laws living under them. So that means that Helicent's 2 Najimes, she's got 2 Najimes who she can actually allocate cooking, cleaning, repairing duties to, and farming to. So really, they will take care of everything for her because they're kind of at the bottom of the social ladder, and she can relax a bit more. If they were married off, then she'd have to do all the work by herself, but thankfully they are staying with their brother, so she won't have to worry about any of that when she marries. So that's like really good news for her. And then like she hates children, so I don't feel like she would want to have children. She probably isn't going to have any of those ones. If anything, it's going to come from Eldrick. But if she does have children, then they will most likely, she can get help for them to be raised from the Najimes. She doesn't have to do it all herself. So I guess things worked out for her. She could live a relatively relaxed life, and maybe that's why she was okay to get married. Why she had that whim pop up, because she knows how easy it's going to be for her. And actually, now that I'm thinking about it, if she stays unmarried here right now, she's having to share the workload with Marquise. Marquise helps her out, but really it's her job because she's at the bottom of the social ladder, and she doesn't like that. She's lazy. She doesn't like having to do all these things. Whereas if she gets married, her status will be elevated, and then she'll have 2 Najimes to do the work for her. So she's thinking strategically. She does love her sister quite a lot. They are very, very close, but she still doesn't want to be doing all the work. That's not her idea of fun. Okay, let's do some more baking. Let's make some cereal marshmallow squares. Get some of these skills in so you can use it when you marry into the other household. I mean, if you want. Probably won't even have to. But it's still good to have these skills under lock and key. But that's great, Marquise. Give us more of these ones, after the consummation, please. Please. So that we can increase the likelihood of Calypso continuing the family like that. Would be great. Thank you very much. That would be very, very nice. Okay, Dorian is heading off. Thank you for visiting us. And I guess I will jump back in when we have more interesting things happening. For now, we might just work on their magic skills and such. And I'll see you guys in a bit. Okay, it is a busy early morning at the Citerly residence. Helicent woke up and there were a few oatmeal cookies left, which everyone was eating. A ton of plates left over. Thankfully, Lady Calypso, even though she didn't have to, hi Lady Calypso, helped up with the cleaning, and so did Marquise. And then Helicent, as soon as she was done, had to go prepare a new batch of baked goods. So, she's kind of tense about this. Things are dirty. She's not used to it. She's not happy with it, but that's just the way. The cookie is crumbling, and that's why she wants out of this house as soon as possible. Now, I don't feel like Marquise would have a problem running things on his own. I feel like he's very kind of a helpful, hands-on type of person. So I think he would adapt really well. And he's doing that right now. He's helping Helicent wherever he can. And also, Calypso doesn't mind stepping in. She does the cooking sometimes. She helps out with repairing or with cleaning. So, she doesn't have a problem with that. So I feel like they would have a good dynamic between them. But Helicent, she's ready to polish up these skills and never use them again. She had a very relaxed upbringing until her parents died. And then her sister became the new High Lady, and suddenly, she had the job of keeping things together domestically. So, makes sense. As a teenager, she was hesitant to get married, but now she's, ever since this new kind of arrangement has been made, she's very eager to step out of this world and have more freedom to do whatever the heck she wants. Let's bake some bread. Let's bake some delicious bread. That sounds good. I can almost smell the bread. Oh, fresh baked bread. So nice, so delicious. But also, she had the whim, Calypso, to make out with Lord Marquise. So actually, and see, look, just by herself. They're eating all these baked goods, but they do spend a lot of time in the pool, which is why they are just so, sorry, but sticking your wedding outfit where possible, because, I adore your wedding outfit. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, you also come out. Come out. I know you want to swim right now, but let's just get out of there. Put on your wedding outfit. We'll get you to just sit down somewhere. Nice and cozy. Do your makeout session. Hold on a second. There we go. Let's put you guys in a group. And let's just come sit here together. We don't really have any benches in this residence outside. So let's just go into the living room. Hellison's not there, so you can have some privacy, I reckon. And I do see that we have something broken. Oh look, this is nice. We made some baked bread. You're done with the baked bread. I don't know why I'm being surprised with that. I literally told her to bake us bread. Okay, you two. Let us get our little party started. Look at them. I actually love their wedding outfit colors. Like, it makes the wedding outfit just look so much nicer than it did with the sisters, in my opinion. Oh, look at them. It's so sweet. It's so cute. I'm really happy for them. I'm really, really happy for them, and I'm excited for their family. But also, like, my heart is in my mouth because Calypso has a really high chance of dying, and that has me so nervous. Like, I know how low I rolled, the low numbers I've rolled. So I'm a little bit freaked out, but I'm also excited. I'm also excited by the prospect of her expanding her family. You know, surviving, being a good Nalka when the time comes. Okay, Hellison, I know you're really tense and you just sat down, but you have to, you gotta repair the, this. I don't even know what this is called. What is this called? You gotta repair it. It's like out. The radiogram. That's all broken up. So, time to get busy, honey. Okay, she's gonna get busy with that. And Lord Marquise. Let's get him to grab a serving of some marshmallow squares and then grab a slice of bread, because when it comes to baked goods, these kind of things, one serve is just not enough. You definitely need more than one. Sometimes 3, sometimes 4. Actually, I mean, 4's a bit extra, but you know. Okay, you can just eat, and then Hellicent, once you're done with this, you can also grab some food to eat. Let's grab some servings. Oh, is there a difference between pick-up serving and grab serving? I'm a bit hazy on that. What about you? Why don't you dash in real quick? And then it's probably... I mean, she's almost done. I don't think you can go, like, take a shower there right now. That would kind of be uncomfortable. Okay, eat, and then by the time you're done, I think you can take a shower then, because Hellicent, she'll be all ready to, And then, no, come here. Let's go grab some food. Leave Hellicent be. Hellicent, listen to me. Thank you. And then you grab a shower. There we go. There we go. I know, it's difficult to coordinate stuff, isn't it? But look at these two. What a nice, happy family. They have, like, the gold rings they're wearing as well, since they're now a married couple. And this is the last time we'll see them in their wedding outfits. When we come back, they'll be wearing, you know, their proper lord and lady garbs, as part of the Ciccar nobility. And hopefully we have some good news with Calypso. Even if we don't, fingers crossed, Marquise is going to keep having those wants that we saw, because he is romantic and family oriented. But okay guys, with that said and done, I'm going to leave off. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.